Hello, good morning. Today we're gonna witness the sunrise together. So for this fifth episode of A Sigh of Wholeness, let's first take a deep breath together as usual. Come into coherence with these sweet, soft waves. And so what I'd like to share about today is change. Change is the only constant in life here on Earth, which is an interesting paradox actually. And it is such a fortunate thing that we decided to put change in place as a part of this experience here on Earth. Because it allows us absolute flexibility. Nothing needs to stay the way it is for more than a moment. No matter how challenging it is, or even also how wonderful and fantastic it is, everything is always shifting. And what I'd like to invite you to realize is many times we get frustrated when we've changed a pattern, we've changed a certain behavior, something that we were done with. We didn't want to be behaving that way anymore. We didn't want to be believing that thing anymore. And so we've changed it. And we're sailing along life, and it's done, it's changed. We're living in a new way, seeing things in a new way. And then all of a sudden, it seems like we fall back into that which we wanted to change. It seems like there is a kind of a setback, so that we move back in time, in a sense, or that we make a mistake, or that we fail. But notice, habits, things that have been in place for very long, they do not change overnight, because, well, they could, and they could stay like that. But we are also used to habits. We're used to having things in place in a certain way that makes sense, that keeps us somehow on track, let's say, at least within that certain belief system that we are holding. And so when we decide to start changing it, if it's something very crystallized, if it's something that we were really living by to a large extent, it's very natural to fall into it again. The good news is that that was just change as well. So we changed from the new we'd fallen into back to what we knew before again. So we changed, and then we can change again and again and again and again. It is not a setback. It is not a mistake. It is not that we are somehow incompetent or not good enough, or all of those things we like to believe, just so we can think we're small humans that have no real power over our choices and our changes. But we're not that. We know that. You know that. I know that. We know that. We are having an experience in human form, but we are infinitely wise beings living an infinite existence. And so that little change that seems like a setback is nothing. Just change again. When you realize it, change again. And if it happens again, change again. You're just changing back and forth. Or actually forth and forth, because you never really go back. It's not possible. What you do is change into things that you had known, into other things that you are experiencing as new, and then adapting, and then back into things you had known, and so forth. And yeah, it's no big deal. It really isn't. And what a gift, what a beauty it is that when we decided to implement this whole experience of being earthlings, or of experiencing ourselves as human beings, we decided to create this thing called change. The freedom it gives us is so brilliant, just like this sunrise. So I invite you to breathe this in, this landscape, this awareness. Notice how this landscape has been changing, constantly changing. How the waves are always near, always there. This is us here. Oh no, this beauty. This is us. This is life. See you next time, my beloved. I hug you with a joyful smile.